discord.gg/flatearth.
Open people's minds up. It just allows them to be more open.
If you guys don't mind, I'm gonna just invite a new person that's joined our group right now. Just real quick.
Go right ahead.
All right, we got Donald C that just joined our group. Donald C, welcome to 24/7 Flat Earth Discord. Are you there?
Oh my. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're coming in.
Yes, I'm here.
So
hello.
Just real quick, Donald, and we like to introduce new people to our forum. What brings you by? Like, what link did you click on that you found here? How did you find us? And then tell us what your position is on the topic that we have with the server, the shape of the Earth.
Well, I think the Earth is an oblate spheroid. Also, I heard about you guys from FTFE and MC Tune and the other debunkers and stuff.
Ah, excellent. And we also, in case just before you engage or whatever, if you want to know, we have a debate forum here called The Arena. And if you ever want to do that, you could schedule. We already have one scheduled debate scheduled between Kosho and Jim Waterworld. So if you do want to have a debate that's scheduled, let us know with any one of us in here that are a part of this server, and we'll oblige. But that being the case, I just want to open up the floor to any questions that you might want to ask, and then maybe perhaps some conversation we want to engage with you on. So go ahead, Donald.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I don't really have any questions. I'm just curious about what's going on in the server. I mean, I see the debates online on YouTube between you guys and the debunkers and stuff, but I've never actually been in engaged. I'm curious.
Well, welcome to the fray, and so may God have mercy on your soul.
I'm an atheist too.
So okay, that's a wallop. Is anybody? Because I don't know. I guess from the standpoint of it being an oblate spheroid, if you don't have any questions, we do have some for you. How about that?
Sure. I'll see what I can do about answering some of those questions.
Sounds great. Okay, so what evidence do you have to provide that the Earth is an oblate spheroid?
I've personally measured the circumference of the planet.
Sounds great. I'm going to give you some rolls here before you continue. I'm going to give you Globe Earth roll, if that's fine.
Yeah, fine.
And I'm also going to give you Link's permission. So in the live stream voice text, which you can probably now see, make sure that you post all relevant information there so that we can address you in that text channel.
Sure.
I give you Link's permission. So now you can go ahead and post any relevant information there. And also we're going to post relevant information there as well. So oblate spheroid, you're going to put some demonstrations up because you said you've actually measured it.
Yeah, it was like 20 years ago, but I don't have any it was 20 years ago. I don't have anything left from that.
You don't have any information to post in live stream voice text?
Well, not about me personally measuring the circumference, no.
But you just finished saying you did, right? Didn't you just say
20 years? Yeah, 20 years ago.
Could you tell us what you did?
Did you forget the method? Like you don't know what you did?
No, I did the same thing as Eratosthenes.
Oh, and run us through real quick exactly what locations we're talking about, so we can just kind of get a gist of what you did.
Well, my first measurement I took from around DFW area in Texas, and then I had a buddy from Oklahoma who did a measurement from his latitude.
Where was your buddy at?
Oklahoma City.
So Oklahoma City to what was the other place in Texas?
DFW, Texas.
DFW.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what did you guys get from that shadow measurement there?
I got within 8% of the claimed radius, and he got within 10%.
Okay.
So you got the wrong answer then, and you saw you got the right answer.
I didn't get the exact answer because I was using large margin for error equipment.
So
it was a stick and a shadow.
What type of equipment were you using, Donald?
A stick and a shadow, and taking an angle.
What was he using?
Same thing. We did it the same way as Eratosthenes did.
Okay.
But he didn't actually measure curve, though, did he? He assumed it.
Well, he only had the one measurement. We had two. Once you have two, it makes it much more clear.
Yeah, good, Wolfgang, if you want to take point.
No, sorry. Well, maybe you go on. Unless you want me to.
Okay, so if anybody wants to take point of this convo, and if not, I'll go ahead and continue.
I took measurements about 20 years. I took measurements about a year ago, and I assumed presuppositions, reverse engineered, Texas sharpshooter, that we lived on a stationary plane, and I did sticks and shadows too, and I got the exact same thing as that Greek guy 2,300 years ago, if he even lived. So I got measurements very close to you, and I went in assuming that we lived on a stationary plane, but you went in thinking we were on a spinning space ball. Is that correct?
I didn't make any assumptions. I just took an angle to the sun and measured it, and my buddy took an angle from the sun and measured it, and then we compared, and it came up with a curve.
And if I have a close and local sun, I will get the exact same measurements as you did.
Not on a flat plane. Doesn't matter where the sun is.
No, on a close and local sun, just as the Greek guy 2,300 years ago that somehow by camel made it to his buddy 500 miles away. If I have a close and local sun on a stationary plane, I get the exact same measurements. Prove me wrong.
Yeah, sure. Whenever you measure anything on
Demosthenes measured could be explained by a flat Earth.
Just if you only have the one measurement, but we took two.
I took two. I doubled.
Hang on. I was just responding to the recording thing. I wanted to say the other thing too. Shit. Now, whoever played the thing made me forget what the question was that you asked. I apologize.
You don't want to hear that he has a.
Oh, you took the assumption. Oh, the flat. Okay, so with the
only one break. You don't want to hear that he repeated also 2-3 times. That doesn't matter.
No, I remembered. I don't need anybody to repeat anything. I remembered.
But that doesn't matter.
Okay. No. Let him get his thing out.
Okay, doesn't matter.
On a flat plane, if you take an angle to the sun and then you move a distance away, it will not have the same angle as if you were on a globe and took an angle measurement and then moved a distance away and took another angle measurement.
Have you ever tried to do that, assuming a stationary plane and not assuming a ball?
I didn't make any assumptions. I just made the measurements. But yes, I did it both ways. Whenever I plotted it out, I did it on a flat plane and on a curved surface.
20 years ago, when you and your buddy, one in DFW and the other one in Oklahoma City, did your little test.
You can call him Jason if you want. That's
Jason. When you went into the test, Donald, with Jason, did you have any assumptions that you lived on a spinning space ball?
Well, no. I just took an angle measurement to the sun. That's all I did.
Now be honest now. 20 years ago, you may have been, 15, 20, 25, 30 years old, something like that?
I was 20.
Okay, so you would have had 15 years of indoctrination since kindergarten. When you walked in, you saw a tilted spinning ball by your teacher's desk, and she or he would never lie to you. So
I don't accept that. I don't accept that education is indoctrination.
So okay, that's a subject for another day. That's a really now remember that, everybody. He doesn't consider schooling indoctrination. So
education. I don't consider education indoctrination.
Okay. What's the difference between schooling?
Well, obviously, they're different words, right?
It depends on what school you go to, what kind of education you get. So schooling is like you can go to a Christian school and get a Christian education, or you can go to a secular school and get a secular education.
And
you can go to atheist school. Atheist education.
I can only understand one person at a time.
Let's keep it to the art.
Yeah, you literally just contradicted yourself, but that's okay. Let's move on, dude. Because if it has some qualifier, Christian school, atheist school, whatever school, obviously they're teaching. So they're teaching. We call it secular, whatever. They're teaching a certain perspective. That is indoctrination.
Well, I mean, at the Christian school, if they teach anything other than what science is, what accepted science says, then that would be indoctrination.
Oh, so if you just teach just science, that's not indoctrination.
Stuff they have
because that's some higher form of knowledge, right? That's just immune from everything else, right?
Stuff that you have evidence and demonstrations and experiments and
okay. So let's go with your evidence. So I have some questions about your angle measurements. Where did you measure the angle from? Where's your zero?
Well, the zero.
What's the origin of the coordinates for your angle measurements?
Zero would be straight up. That's your 90 degrees.
So you're measuring down.
No, you measure up.
Well, from where?
From the ground.
From the horizon.
No, from the ground.
What do you mean from the ground? What are you talking about?
The thing that you're standing on top of.
Oh, so you're measuring from directly under your feet. So you had a plumb line or something?
From the ground.
Yeah.
Yes, I had a plumb line. Yes, I had a plumb line. I had a tripod with a plumb line.
You got a tripod with a plumb line. Don't you mean a bubble level?
I don't remember if I had both, but it doesn't matter.
You don't even know what you did you? Yeah, it does matter because how do you measure an angle off of a curved surface?
I used my quadrant.
Yeah, how do you measure an angle from a curved surface?
It's called a quadrant.
Yeah, fantastic. So, but you're down, right? You're down. You're measuring off a horizontal.
You know how to use a quadrant?
Dude, it's irrelevant. You're measuring off of a curved surface. You cannot take an angle off of a curved surface. What don't you understand?
It's called a tangent. You can. It's called a tangent.
Okay, so where's the tangent?
There are an infinite number of tangent points along every...
Which one are you using?
The one that was directly beneath me.
Okay, so how did you measure that? How did you get that value?
You said it, a plumb line.
So isn't a tangent a straight line?
Yes, tangent is...
Okay, so like I said, how do you measure off of a curved surface?
I used my quadrant.
Yeah, but you don't have it. You said a tangent, which is a straight line.
Sure.
So you measured from an imaginary straight line.
It's a straight line from a curved surface.
Yeah, so you measured off an imaginary straight line that's touching an imaginary curved surface. You didn't actually measure from the curved surface. You measured off of a straight line.
I measured from the angle of the shadow to the sun. I measured from the end of the shadow. I'm sorry, I apologize. I measured from the end of the shadow to the angle of the sun. Off with my quadrant.
So you did Eratosthenes. What are you talking about?
That's what I said from the beginning. That's what I said from the beginning.
This is what we're talking about, Eratosthenes? Jesus Christ. I thought you were talking about...
That's what I said from the beginning.
Okay, I missed that part. I thought you were talking about, like, something else, like degrees per latitude or something. This is even worse. We're on Eratosthenes. Like, this is even worse, bro.
Well, I was 20. I was a kid.
Well, what makes you think rays of light are parallel?
Because I understand how light rays work. Photons travel in straight lines.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I do.
Okay.
No, you don't.
So photons travel in straight lines. So when we see, 50 miles too far, what does that mean? So they're not
vacuum, dude. In a vacuum, they travel in straight lines.
Donald, your buddies who argue this, your anti-flat Earth friends, are gonna.
I gotta get my cookies over here.
They're gonna tell you you're wrong on this. They don't say that they're coming. They say that the light rays are coming in nearly parallel. They don't say they're coming in parallel like you just stated.
I never said that they came in parallel.
They're gonna correct you. Yes, you did.
I said that light travels in straight lines through space-time.
That's not what they're saying. That's not what they're saying.
That's exactly what physics says.
No, it's not.
I've been studying physics for 30 years. This is what physics says about photons.
So when they hit you up in the DMs, they're gonna correct you on this because they're not saying that when they come in here. None of them are. They already know they've been debunked on that.
I never said that they traveled parallel. Y'all said that they traveled parallel. What I said was they traveled in straight lines. What I said
they have to be parallel, though. They have to be parallel.
They're nearly parallel. They're nearly parallel, just like this dude said.
How close to parallel are they?
Less than like 0.00001 degrees or some shit.
Yeah, so who measured that, dude?
I mean, we can measure single photons. Science does it all the time.
Yeah, cool. That has nothing to do with it. It's a red herring.
How is that a red herring? You asked me.
Because it has nothing to do with a measurement of the divergence of rays. It has nothing to do with it. Whether you can measure a single photon or not.
There's nothing to do with measuring light rays.
We want to know what the direction they're coming from. We don't care about their existence.
What are light rays made of? What are light rays made of?
Okay, there's no such thing as light rays. That's a model. and a photon is a description based upon the dual properties of light, right? Particle and wave nature of light.
That's also a model. The dual
Yes,
properties.
yeah, you're right. They're also a light, and you're trying to deflect from the fact from the divergence of the rays. How is the divergence of the rays measured?
We can measure single photons, so we measure two single photons. Would you let me finish?
And we can measure the angle of arrival, because that's what we're listen, dude, you're not going to do it, dude. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. Like, listen, you know you fucked up, and you're trying to talk over me. You're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you right now. Just kick you the fuck out. I don't care. You're either going to be honest or you're going to leave.
To answer the question you asked me.
Dude,
I'd really love to
how do we measure the angle of arrival?
Did somebody mute me while I was talking?
Yes, I muted you because you're talking over me.
You interrupted me, buddy.
Dude, I'm asking you a question. You're not answering it. You're trying to give some.
I was trying to answer it. I was trying to answer the question.
So
you asked
here's
me,
your chance.
You interrupted
angle
me.
Of arrival.
No.
How?
This is how we measure the angle of light. We take two separate photons because we can measure individual photons, and we measure where they are in space and time, and then we compare them, and we take the angle, and that's how we find out the angle.
Okay, what device did we do that with?
You can do it with anything that detects photons.
Yeah, I love it when you guys just make something up, dude. Who did this? When was it done with? What equipment was it done with? How was it done? Where was it done?
Film. You can do it with physical film.
Yeah, I want when someone actually did do it, not some theoretical notion in your head.
All the time. There is this thing called the SDSS, or yeah, I think that's what it is. Anyway, but it's a telescope that is continually mapping every star in the sky.
Okay, wait a second. So here we go. Now we're talking about stars and not the sun. We're talking about the sun. Try to focus. Try to focus, dude. Are they mapping the sun? Is this device mapping the sun? Is it taking the angle of arrival of photons from the sun? Yes or no?
We're not focusing on the sun.
Yes or no?
Bruh. I said no. We're not focusing on the sun.
Okay, then yeah, we are because we want.
Oh
dude,
my God! Would it be possible for me to finish a
No, you're not going to spew a fucking goddamn narrative, dude. No, we're going to stay on the topic, bro. We're going to stay on your experiment. We're going to stay.
Any of the sentences I'm trying to say, or are you just going to continue to interrupt me every time I try to speak?
I'm going to keep interrupting you till you get back on topic. Your experiment, your claim that the angles to the sun are parallel. What's the evidence for that? It's really fucking simple. Give us the evidence for it. Device, how it was measured, what it was done, because I have evidence to the contrary. So I want to see yours first, and then I'll show you mine. Come on, Donald. Don't fucking cower. Told you it wasn't going to happen.
I'm curious, what are your measurement devices?
Range.
So Ray, no, you can. I'll tell you. I'll even tell him. But he wants to spin a narrative. He don't want to actually put up. He wants to talk. We don't care about claims here. We want evidence for the claims. So he can talk about some future thing that's going to happen or could happen or would happen or should happen. We want what did happen, right? What did happen in reality. So he claimed that first he tried to deflect this, just say we can measure photons. We don't care about their existence. We want to know properties of it. The properties we want to know is, what's the divergence of the angle of arrival from the sun?
Exactly.
He knows what I'm saying. He doesn't want to answer because he doesn't have that information. He knows goddamn well it's an assumption. He knows goddamn well his sticks in the fucking ground don't mean jack shit. He knows this. Because he did it when he was 20 years old. That was years ago. Eratosthenes has been frickin' ran over, trampled, stomped on, thrown under the bus, and every other goddamn thing in the last 5 years. To even come in here with that is almost an insult.
The same phenomenon Eratosthenes measured could be explained by a flat Earth.
He's replying with an off-topic thing. You are he's making a claim from his idea, and then you're reading from his book saying, okay, where is your evidence? He's saying, oh, let's talk about this else. Let's talk about something else. He's not on the same page as you, India, for some reason. Is it a language barrier?
You know exactly what I'm talking about, Don. You're playing stupid.
I've never actually gotten to finish a single sentence yet, so you guys don't even know what the hell I have to say. So
listen, Donald, you gotta be honest. Donald,
my 2-year-old students.
Donald, shut the fuck up.
And just
you
let
honest,
you
or you get
knock
booted.
yourselves out.
No, just Indio.
We can hear you lying. You're a lying motherfucker, and we can all hear it. Now, you either be honest,
I
or you
didn't want
get
to
the
call him
fuck
that.
out.
Doesn't even know
Just
how he
Indio.
measured.
Yeah, let's see if we can get Donald and Indio to discuss.
Yeah, listen, I'm just asking questions, Donald. It's your experiment. You should be able to explain it. Why should we reach the conclusions that you reach? Right? You should be able to elucidate. You should be able to elucidate to us all the parts of it. Right?
I would be very capable of doing that if I could finish a single sentence, but I have yet to be able to finish many sentences.
Because we're still on the question I asked you.
No, you haven't let me answer it. That's why we're still on it. You just keep interrupting me because you don't want to hear what I have to say.
Okay, because you don't have anything. Yeah.
You don't know what I have because you have.
The only sentence you're saying is I can't say a sentence. That's the only sentence you're fucking saying.
Hold on.
You just
guys,
keep
let's do like
repeating.
this. Indio, you re-ask your question, and then Donald, you answer the question. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Two Sticks and Shadows, Eratosthenes, has a presupposition. That is that the rays of the sun are parallel. Photons are parallel. They arrive in parallel to within, whatever you said, 0.00001%, which is theoretical value. It's never been measured. I asked you how they measured that. So, how was that measured?
Okay.
Not how it can be measured, how it was measured. Thank you.
So what you do is you take any device that detects photons and you measure two different photons in space and time and you compare the angles at which they hit the device. And that's how you get the angle of impact for the photon.
Okay,
Just quick moderation here.
Oh, go ahead, Shibi.
No, I'm just not sure. Donald, just wanted to make sure you got the question. We're looking for how it was done.
That's how
appreciate
it's
you
done.
Kind of telling us how you could do it. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Looking for
how it
was
is done. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Okay,
That's how,
so
that's how
who did
everybody
that?
does
Oh, how everybody does it. Who did that?
anytime photons have been detected from the sun, that's how it's done.
Okay, so who did that? Who measured the angle of arrival for the sun? Where's that data?
Are you serious?
Oh man, I got a evidence for my claim. Jesus Christ!
That's valid, Donald. Donald, just say someone did it, so there must be a paper.
It's not common knowledge. If I
It's
Google
common
it,
knowledge that there are devices that detect photons. Yes.
yes, that is fine, Donald. Right? That's fine, Donald. Right? We don't care about a device that detects the existence of photons.
Not the existence of.
That's what a photon detector does. It detects the existence of a photon.
Spectroscopy is.
Yes, I understand what spectroscopy is. This is another red herring that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Spectroscopy has nothing to do with photons. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Dude, no. That's it. Every time you try to rephrase my question, a strong man inevitably follows. You've done it like 9 times now. That's why you're getting a bad attitude.
Do you think that the light from the sun is photons?
What the fuck?
Donald.
Listen, we can call light photons. That's not a problem.
We can call light photons? Okay.
We can call light photons, yeah.
So whenever we
That's not a
detect light,
problem.
we're detecting photons, correct?
Sometimes you can detect light using other devices. So, yeah, you can use it as detecting photons.
No. I said whenever we are detecting light, we are detecting photons, correct?
Sometimes they're not detecting photons directly. Sometimes that's not the mechanism. There's lots of devices out there, Donald. I know you have like a 10th grade education, but there are lots of devices.
Asking about light. I'm specifically asking about
Yeah, there's lots of ways to detect light, Donald.
And I wasn't asking about any specific way. I was asking about every time we detect light, are we detecting photons?
No.
Then you're wrong. I'm sorry.
No, because there's something called near-field radiation. You're just ignorant. So stop.
That's photons too. Radiation is photons.
No, near-field radiation is not photons because they're not transverse.
It's not light either. Light
you don't even know what near-field radiation is. You don't even know what it is.
I do.
Okay, tell me what near-field radiation is. Near-field radiation. I said very specifically, near-field radiation. What is that?
Is it a field of radiation that's quite near you?
Oh, Jesus. I just said you don't know what it is. You said, yes, you do. Now you're asking me a question. Okay, that's fine. You don't know everything. You're just saying what you know, but you're at your limit.
I knew everything.
Okay, I'm telling you. Real simple. We know photons can be detected. We know there's photon detectors. We know we can detect it. Technically, they're called singlets, right? When you detect a single photon, it's called a singlet. So that's what they call it in physics. I know you don't know none of this. Stop trying to pretend you know shit and we don't. You don't. Okay? You're underwater here.
You don't know. You don't know what I do and don't know.
You're telling me by you talking. That's what you're. That's what you're doing. I'm discerning what you know by you talking.
5 minutes. We've been speaking for 5 minutes.
Look, okay, this is just off topic. But this is just a fucking dumpster fire. I only want to know one thing: how did they detect? Right? What's the evidence that they measured an angle of the sun? Where's the data? What was the device that you used? I don't want to know how they could do it.
NASA as a source.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Give me the data. I don't want to claim. I don't want you parroting somebody else's claim. I want the actual data because I want to know what the devices were used. I want to know how they were calibrated. What was done? Because I know something you don't. It's never been done. And you know it's never been done. That's why you're gish-galloping all over the place.
I'm not gish-galloping, dude. I'm trying
It's okay, Donald. If you don't have that,
and you just you are
you know what
a very
gish-gallop
hard
is?
person to talk to. You are a very hard person to talk
to. Of course, because I'm not going to be steamrolled by you.
Where's the live chat? That's voice.
Right above the voice channel that you're in.
Darth Dawkins.
Paste. All right, there you go.
Oh, don't fucking post shit like that, Bearded Dora, man.
Sorry.
It's just because the algorithm and shit.
So
there's no data. There's no data in here.
There's no
data in here. No, there's no data in here.
There's no data in here. Chapter 4. This seems like a textbook.
You're just randomly Googling shit.
Yeah, I did. That's how you find shit. It's by Google.
Really?
You don't do that after your claim, though. You do that before you make the claim.
I don't know what claims were going to be. I didn't know what claims I needed to defend.
He's randomly Googling on the fly, Indio. He doesn't know.
But it's the source that's important. It's the source that's important. Google doesn't matter. Google is just how you find the source. NASA is the source.
Oh, my goodness.
I asked you if NASA...
What you're missing, sir... Oh, go ahead,
doesn't
guys.
have the citation.
So what you're missing is that you're just copy-pasting a link. You don't know what it says. You don't know how it works. You don't know the methodology, the cause and effect relationships of what you don't even know if it's there. You just
you didn't even read this. It doesn't even do what you thought it.
No, I didn't read it. I just Googled angle of this.
There you go.
So you're going to tell us. So Donald, do you realize that you're trying to tell us something you believe, but you don't know?
All about how the angle of this. This is all about it, man. Are you kidding me? This is a textbook page about how we figured out how the angle of the photons comes in the way it does. That's what this is.
No, they're measuring the sun's in an actual different position. The sun's in an actual different position, so this is different in time. So to measure the angle of the sun, you need to get sufficiently far apart on Earth and measure the angle of the incoming rays. And they have to be oriented. That's how it has to be done. Because they have to be oriented. No, you didn't.
Yeah, me and my buddy. He did it from Oklahoma City. I did it from DFW. That's at least 15 degrees latitude difference.
Okay, what does that mean?
It's not 15 degrees.
It means there's 15 degrees of latitude.
How do you know it isn't 15 degrees sun? How do you know it is? Well, Jim, let me ask you a question. How do you know it isn't 15 degrees divergence of the sun rays?
Well, they're both the same. That's how we got.
You're just saying that. I asked you for the evidence. You're just saying it.
I told you guys it was 20 years ago. I don't have any of it left. My house got robbed. Everything got stolen.
You never measured the angles of the sun. And you know what? So we have the evidence that they're not. I'm going to just skip over this because we have the evidence that the angles of the sun are not parallel. And you know who did that? Yeah, we do. You can claim we don't, but we do.
Put it in the chat. I want to look at it.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Hold on a sec. So, ever see that YouTube video? I proved the Earth is round with my bike and 2 sticks. Ever seen that video?
I'm just waiting for the evidence in the chat.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, have you ever seen that video?
This is your evidence?
Wait a second. Wait, no. Yeah, that's my evidence. You know why?
I don't accept YouTube videos as evidence.
So what?
You need a credible, peer-reviewed source for me, just like I gave you.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, NASA is a peer-reviewed, credible source.
Dude, now you're just fucking lying.
That you don't accept. It does not.
You obviously don't know what peer review is.
I do.
Oh, you do. So what journal and who were the reviewers of NASA's information? Who peer reviewed that?
Well,
Tell me.
NASA has 30,000 employees that peer review.
Okay, they peer reviewed themselves. That's not peer review. Peer review is when a peer reviews your shit, not when you review your own shit.
The people who did the peer review are not the same people who did the experiments.
Okay, so who was that?
It was
Donald. You're just digging a hole. You hit rock bottom. Now you're just digging and digging, dude. You're just making shit. I'll let you answer, but you're just lying at this point.
You're interrupting me again.
Yeah, because you're not spewing a narrative, dude. That's right. Now you're going to complain. Now you're the victim again. Oh, yeah. So here's the evidence the sun rays are not parallel. You see this? You see these two sticks? They did the same test you did. These sticks are 3 feet apart and the shadow lengths are different. How'd that happen? They're 3 feet apart in the video. But you have different shadow lengths. How'd that happen?
Donald's fucked right now.
Hey, Donald, you said a few minutes ago that there was 15 degrees latitude difference between Oklahoma City and Dallas-Fort Worth. Is that correct? Donald, you said there was 15-degree difference latitude between DFW and Oklahoma City a few minutes ago. Is that correct? Okay. I just want everybody to know that the difference in latitude between Oklahoma City and Dallas is 2.75 degrees. So he said 15, it's 2.75. He was off by 12.25 degrees. No big deal though, right?
It doesn't matter when you just make stuff up.
Yeah.
Donald, you're on mute if you didn't realize.
You can tell Donald is a disciple of Loon McToon and Weird FTFE. You can just tell.
No. Well, I mean, yeah, probably, but I can just tell that he's here to spin a narrative. He just isn't good at it. Because we've been through this before. We go through this all the time. The gish gallop, the red herring, the straw man, that nonsense, dude. Dude, if your so-called heroes on YouTube can't come in here and prevail, what chance does someone like you that is just a lackey to these people? What chance do you have?
You got
zero chance, bro.
I knew Indio. I knew we had him in light rays being parallel. I knew we had him right there. We didn't even have to go any farther.
All right. So would it be possible for me to actually finish this
on that one point? You have been, dumbass.
I've been interrupted every time I've been asked a question to answer. Every time I've tried to answer the question,
you have been having the time to say whatever you wanted to say. You have not been interrupted. It's just been you and Indio.
Hey, let me ask you a question. How many times have you said, "Can I not be interrupted"? At least 40 times. Somehow you got that out.
I'm the victim.
He jetted.
He left.
I know.
But this was a good example. I typed it out in the chat. He didn't answer the question. We asked him, please provide the method, who did this, not just who can or how you could do it. Please. Then he complained, I need the room to speak. We gave him the room to speak. He still didn't answer the question. So,
Spartans! What is your profession? See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.